Hello and welcome to another episode of Loyalty Chats with Tom. These are informative and engaging podcasts of no more than 15 minutes, perfect for your coffee break, lunchtime, or your journey home. We hope to provide interesting loyalty insights into the future of the sector, and all our discussions are focused on where the industry is going next. Today, I'm joined by Anke Hsu from Chain for Travel, who build the Camino Network, a democratised travel consortium. Welcome, Anke.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me today on your podcast. I'm very much looking forward to discussing solutions in loyalty based on blockchain infrastructure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic to have you on. Thanks very much for being here. So tell us a little bit about, before we get into blockchain infrastructure for loyalty, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got here.
So I'm in the travel industry for more than 20 years already. Worked for Lufthansa. I worked for Sabre, which is a large technology provider. Got more into the technology, and before I joined Chain for Travel in 22, I worked for a IT provider for the tour operator industry. And I actually, at about the same, about 18, 19, I dove more into blockchain because they were the first applications in travel. And I think that blockchain can help us with many challenges that we have in the travel industry. So I'm glad that I could join the team of Chain for Travel.
Yeah, perfect. So tell us a little bit more about that. So let me get this right. So Chain for Travel has created this blockchain infrastructure solution, and that is a democratized consortium, right? Tell
Right.
us what
Yeah.
that means.
So we are building Camino Network, which is, Camino is Spanish for the way, and I always say the way into the future. And we are doing so in a task by the Camino Network Foundation, a nonprofit foundation in Switzerland that is coordinating all votings and moderates the consortium of travel players in Camino Network. So we have more than close to 200 supporters already. About half of them are validating transactions. That's the difference, right? In the blockchain network, you have a community of peers that confirms the transactions. And we have about 100 validators, and those comprise the Camino Network Consortium, and controls actually the development in Camino Network, but also transaction fees, which is most importantly for the travel industry, because we enable microtransactions by keeping the transaction fee low.
I see. And the microtransactions, how would that work for loyalty? Is that to do with the issuance of points and rewards?
Well, based on blockchain, Tom, it's that it's very easy to get a supply in points. I think the challenge is then how do you build the loyalty program, how that fits with your existing measures. You can have a collection of digital collectibles. Yes, but I think the technology is just a tool for creating those points, to track those points instantly, to have them, in the case of collectibles, immutable, not changeable, not copy, or not be able to copy. So I think that's the beauty of this technology, that is, in my opinion, a tool to help us to improve existing loyalty programs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we talk a lot. I've been talking a lot recently, and the industry talks a lot about how blockchain and Web3 is going to revolutionize loyalty. But you are right. You have to start with the strategy. It's not these technology solutions won't get you out of a bad strategy. So I'm glad you've said that. But let's imagine that we've got amazing strategies. Let's talk about how Camino and Chain for Travel are providing value to specifically loyalty platforms. I know that your consortium does lots of other things like payment settlement, etc. But if we focus just in on the loyalty industry, let's talk about practical applications for how the solution enables advancement and USPs.
Yeah, Tom, so you're right. Camino Network is a blockchain-based infrastructure that enables digital innovation. So whether that's in trading distribution or payment settlement, even sustainability. So loyalty especially is interesting. And so we have interesting cases of partners in the network. So I might add that we have large partners like Lufthansa or big tour operators like Der Touristik or TUI in the network, but also smaller players all have the same voice in governing the network and all have the same opportunity. So back to loyalty, last year we had a hackathon between Lufthansa, Chain for Travel, and Der Touristik. And the focus was on sustainability initiatives. So it's a big effort, of course, to incentivize customer to buy greener fares. And so during the hackathon, the developers came up with the idea to build a sustainable loyalty program. So you can actually complement that with the existing loyalty program or intertwine it. But it comprises of an eco token that you, with each liter of sustainable fuel that you that customers buy, hand out to the customer, and the customer can then redeem that eco token within the partnership system that you create. Yeah.
So how do you? So that's an NFT essentially. The consumer is issued an NFT for every liter of sustainable fuel that they buy. But how do they buy that fuel?
Actually, that's the normal procedure. You go on the website, you see the greener fare, and then you buy. You see, like this is incentivized by 50 eco token. So it could be a fungible token actually. Could be a supply of token, and then you get your token and in your profile, or in the wallet could be hidden by the profile, and then you redeem that within the system. Yeah,
I see.
And it could be even as far as, because they also developed a tracking token of how much SAF, sustainable fuel, was sold, and then actually fueled by Lufthansa. And so you could actually inform the customer, now the amount of fuel that you bought, now it's actually used. So I think that contributes a lot to transparency of sustainable measures, and I think that's often missing today. So we could use the technology as a tool to provide that to customers.
Very interesting. So that's linking sustainability to loyalty to a particular carrier. Yeah. Really interesting. Okay. Yeah, and tell me, when we were talking before, you also talked about the OTA solution that you're working with. Tell me more about that, because that sounds fascinating.
Yeah, that's a different solution. So we have in our ecosystem the first blockchain OTA called Sleep.io, so SLEAP.io. And they are working based on the fact that we have today wallets where you store your digital assets, especially, of course, in the blockchain world. But we will get that wallets also from the EU, European Union, and other governments in the future. So we store the digital assets that we got from somebody else, from another company, in the wallet. So if you and Sleep did a partnership with Etihad, who hands out digital assets, digital collectibles, also within a sustainability program to finance sustainable fuel. So when you log in and you log in with your wallet in the Sleep app or the website, and then you allow Sleep to see the content of your wallet, then and you have a digital collectible of Etihad, you get a 10% discount, for example. So it's a different mechanism, and ultimately it will be automatically scanned and automatically given to you, and you don't need to care anymore what you need to do in order to get your redemption, right?
it's just making it so much easier for people to earn and burn and interact with their loyalty
Exactly.
programs. And most importantly, I suppose, um, take actions outside of that loyalty programs and be rewarded for it. So you talked about micropayments, etc., and you could have local stores that issue miles and more points for
Yeah, that's another
purchases.
case. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So generally it's making it's more secure, it's less fraud, it's quicker, you can get your rewards instantly, but actually it's also creating much more individualized experiences and localized experiences where brands, small brands or local brands, can benefit from their customers earning or burning points of a much bigger program.
Exactly. And we talked about that before. If you're a big hotel chain and you want to work together with smaller restaurants in the regional in the proximity of your hotel, I think it's a lot of technical efforts to do that today, to integrate with those shops, restaurants, activity providers today in order to create a localized
Yeah.
loyalty program, or even a loyalty program and destination. But with blockchain, that's really possible and cost efficient to do.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a number of key advantages, and I know that some people in the loyalty industry are quite nervous about how this maybe you maybe lose control of the customer in this way, and that's kind of the opposite of what you want from a loyalty program. But actually, it provides a lot more value for the consumer, which is really super important. And it also makes it, like we said, it's more difficult for fraud, much more difficult for fraud. It's much easier for the consumer. It's much more technology forward. So there's a lot of really interesting case studies there. But I mean, just to
And
summarize, though, you think you're obviously fully behind it, but you see blockchain as um, something to facilitate the future of loyalty.
yes, absolutely. And you mentioned fraud. Of course, I mean, that's a big issue. And if you look at digital collectibles that are, secured by smart contracts on blockchain, it's immutable. It's not, you cannot copy it.
Yeah,
And on the other hand, thinking about control, you as the builder of the loyalty program, you control the program. So it's much easier to add partners for collection or redemption, but you are still in the driver's seat. You can define the conditions in any kind of smart contracts around loyalty.
yeah, of course. Yeah, so you don't lose any control, but you get all the added benefits of the things that we've just described there. Well, look, that's been fantastic. Thank you. It's great to have an expert like you on to talk about practical applications for blockchain. I know we've had lots of news in the press about where blockchain maybe hasn't worked for loyalty, especially with respect to trading points and trading NFTs. And that isn't necessarily the right application, but better applications, more practical applications are coming out all the time. So thank you
And
very much for your time. It's been a pleasure
thank
to
you,
have you
Tom.
on.
Yeah, it's coming back to strategy always, right? As you said
Yeah,
in the beginning.
absolutely. Of course, of course. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully have you on again soon.
Thank you, Tom. See you
Pleasure.
soon. Bye.